On behalf of M Club, Mount Union's Varsity Letter Winners Association, welcome to the 2023 Hall of Fame induction ceremony. My name is Paul Cotton, and I'm the current president of M Club. With me is past M Club president Bob Atkinson, along with Corey Unkridge, current chairman of the Hall of Fame Selection Committee. Thank you all for being here this evening as we honor several of Mount Union's finest athletes, coaches, and supporters. The M Club Hall of Fame Selection Committee members include Bob Atkinson, Bruce Hickson, Corey Unkridge, Rosa LaMantina, Kathy Lavery, Melissa Mankey Morrison, Paul Alloy, Victor Smith, Susie Vanette, Dave Wolpert, and myself. This committee had a task of reviewing all the nominations submitted and selecting this year's honorees. Thank you for your dedication to maintaining the level of integrity and excellence that is expected of this process. At this time, I'd like to take a moment to recognize those we have lost from M Club this past year.
Those selected for induction this year have achieved high honors in their respective sports and have supported the ideals of good sportsmanship and high character. M Club is proud to recognize and honor these most deserving individuals. Now, on to the Hall of Fame inductions. As each inductee is announced, I invite you to make your way to the stage from that direction for the presentation of your award and your remarks. It is my pleasure to recognize Eric Belancic for track and field. Eric is a 2007 graduate who was a two-time All-American in the high jump in 2005 and 2006 and was a key member of 6 OAC championship teams, 3 indoor and 3 outdoor. From 2005 to 2007, he was a 5-time OAC individual high jump champion, 3-time indoor in 2004, 2006, and 2007, and 2-time outdoor in 2004 and 2006. He was a key member of the 2006 indoor team that finished 6th and 2007 outdoor team that placed 8th at the NCAA championships. While at Mount Union, Eric studied business administration. Since graduating, Eric served as an assistant coach and led the boys to the 2008 state championship at Wheeling Central Catholic High School. From 2011 to 2019, Eric then served as the head boys and girls track coach, also at Wheeling Central Catholic High School. In 2017, the girls team won the state championship, and the boys and the girls combined for 5 Ohio Valley Athletic Conference team championships. In September this year, Eric was inducted into the Wheeling Central Catholic High School Athletic Hall of Fame as both an athlete and a coach. Currently, Eric is an enrollment manager at Brian Patton and Associates. In 2022, Eric finished as the top associate in the entire company of Aflac in traditional annual premium. Eric is married to Aslan and has 2 children, Braden and Bodie. It is my honor to induct into the M Club Hall of Fame Eric Belancic for track and field.
Hi everyone, my name is Eric Belancic and I was in the class of 2007. The first thing I want to do, I want to congratulate my fellow inductees, and never in my wildest dreams would I ever imagine I'd be getting the phone call to be standing up here on this stage. I'm humbled beyond words. There's so many people I want to thank. The first 2 I want to thank are my parents, Joe and Patty. They're perfect parents. They're the 2 most selfless people you could ever meet. At any point in my life, I can't think of a single time where they didn't put myself or my brother themselves ahead of us. I mean, they just did everything for us, went over and beyond. They nurtured an unbelievable competitive spirit in me that I've used in every facet of my life, and that's something I'm just incredibly grateful for. My brother Johnny is the best brother you could ever ask for. he's 7 years younger than me, so he was pretty young when I was competing. At no point in time did he ever once complain about those long car rides or, flights across the country or time away from his friends. He was just there, he was supportive, and he's just an awesome, awesome guy. My wife, Aslan, an amazing woman, beautiful inside and out, just an amazing partner in life. Our 2 boys, Braden and Bodie, they're our whole world. Aslan's actually pregnant. We got another one due in spring of 2024. And to all my teammates I competed with, nothing would be possible without you guys. The way we pushed each other in practice every day, we made each other want to get better. The way that they would come to the high jump pit towards the end of the meet, when we're getting to the make or break heights, they clap in unison and just give me that extra adrenaline rush to get over those higher heights. That's something, I still get like goosebumps thinking about it from time to time. It's no secret why we won all those conference meets and did well nationally. We had a team full of winners. And in a couple of minutes, you're going to see a couple of them that I ran with. Johnny Biacofsky, Nick Saluppo, Pierre, Garcon. They're all teammates of mine. And we just pushed each other to get better every day, and we fed off each other. I also wouldn't be standing here without my coaches. Coach John Homan, Coach Alex DiMarzio, and Coach Doug Brown specifically. All 3 of them went out of their way to help me. Coach Homan's a larger-than-life guy. I absolutely love competing for him. The way he motivated was second to none. There's a reason he's in the United States Track and Field and Cross Country Coaches Association Hall of Fame. His resume speaks for itself. But the things I'll remember the most, though, are the things that happen outside of track practice and meets and stuff like that. If you know him, he had this very thick New England accent, and I just love the way he talked. And we had a meet one time at Wartburg College for nationals, 700 miles from the campus. And he's like, "You're riding with me, Belancic. And don't even think about falling asleep, because if I can't sleep, you can't sleep." And when you're in your early 20s and you're used to naps, that's not something, that you're used to. But all 700 miles that I stayed awake, those are things I just remember like it was yesterday. And I'm so glad it happened. Another time, we were in Lisle, Illinois at another national meet, and he made me room with him for 4 days. He goes, "I don't want any funny business from you, Belancic." I have no idea what he was talking about or why he would say that, but I didn't mind. We had a great time. I also got to hear him say this in that trip. I just finished 7th in the high jump that day. I was actually probably the best meet of my life, but I got injured in the middle of the meet, and I had to drop out of the meet and just kind of watch myself get passed by a couple people. So we get to the hotel. It was my ankle, by the way, and I'm icing my ankle on my bed. He's in his bed, and he's like, "You almost had a good day today, Belancic." I'm like, "Yeah, coach, yeah. Made All-American's probably one of the best days of my life." He's like, "Well, could have been better." "Yeah, I guess, I almost broke my ankle. It's 6'9". Lucky to get out of there, I guess." He's like, "Well, next time don't get injured and you'll have a better day. Maybe start pulling your weight around here, which Lord knows is super heavy." Being around him, though, also, I got to see the way he coached. And I became a coach after that, and not just the workouts, but the stuff you see behind the scenes, or that you wouldn't necessarily see behind the scenes, how he organized the practice, how he predicted how we would score points in meets. I basically modeled my entire coaching philosophy after him, and I did everything nearly the same way, and it worked. He has no idea how influential he was on me, even in college, post-college. Another one who's here, Coach Alex DiMarzio and Coach Brown. Both of them dedicated a ton of time to me to help me get better in the high jump. Coach D was my hurdle coach for a brief period of time my freshman year, until I quickly realized I wasn't very good at the hurdles, so I had to move on just to focus on the high jump. But he and Coach Brown both dedicated a ton of time to actually help me get better at it. In high school, I just winged it. I would stand where I thought was the right place, and I would go. But both of them helped me actually measure out steps and approach so I could actually get a starting position. And it's just something I'm very, very appreciative of. Another person is Heather Waite. She's a fellow M Club member here. She was she was the assistant coach on the track team when I was in high school. And She molded me into somebody that did some pretty rare things in high school. She saw something right around my sophomore year and took an extra focus on me, really pushed me to a limit that I didn't even know existed. And she's actually one of the main reasons I came to Mount. She thought I'd be a good fit here. She was a national champ herself. She came on my recruiting visit with my parents. And oddly enough, I got to coach her twin daughters as well, Kennedy and Ireland. If you follow Mount Union track, you've heard of Kennedy Waite. If there's a mortal lock to get inducted into the M Club and be standing up here one day, it's her. She's going to go down not only as one of the best athletes to ever come out of Mount, but in all of Division III. She's incredible, and I had the honor of coaching her in high school. I want to thank the M Club Hall of Fame Committee for this, for blessing me with this honor. I want to thank all my friends and family who are in attendance. A lot of them flew in from Florida, all over the country. I got a lot of people that came in town for this, and I'm very appreciative of that. I want to thank my in-laws, Jay and Barbara Reisinger, for all their support and everything we do. Coming to Mount was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. I don't want to say I'm a homebody, but I kind of am. The only 4 years that I never lived in Wheeling, West Virginia was my 4 years at Mount. And it's not that I don't know. I guess when I graduated, I was a little scared to go to colleges because I would be on my own. So I thought, I'm going to get the best of both worlds. I'm going to attend WVU, where all my friends go. I'll be able to see my friends, and I was going to walk on the track team there, but little did I know, WVU had other plans. They eliminated 5 men's sports the summer of 2003 due to Title IX, and track was one of them. And deep down, I just knew I wasn't done competing. I had always loved my visit to Mount. I knew that was the place that was always calling me. And I also remember Coach Homan was the only coach that took his time out of his busy schedule to come watch me compete in the conference championship my senior year. And I just knew that this was the place. I committed in June that year. On the first weekend here, I met a group of friends, and to this day, we are lifelong best friends. I knew within 48 hours this was the place. And when it was all said and done, I did get the best of both worlds. I made lifelong friends. I was on an amazing track team, and I got an incredible education. I can't thank everyone enough for the memories I was able to make. There's plenty of people I'm forgetting, and I'm sorry about that, but I love everything about this university, and I'm grateful beyond belief. To receive this amazing honor is something I'll never forget, and I'll be appreciative the rest of my life. Thank you, everyone.
It is my pleasure to recognize John Biacofsky for track and field. John is a 2006 graduate who was a 4-time All-American, including a member of the 2006 Outdoor National Championship winning team in the 4x100 meter relay. He also had 2 runner-up finishes at Nationals. John placed second at the 2006 Indoor Nationals in the 55-meter dash and at the 2005 Indoor Nationals in the 100-meter dash. He also placed 8th in the 55-meter dash at the 2003 Indoor Nationals. In the 2004 OAC champion in the indoor 55-meter dash, John was a key member of 5 total OAC championship teams, 2 indoor and 3 outdoor. He holds the 200-meter school record at 20.82 and is a member of the 4x100 meter relay that holds the program's best time at 40.30. Justin majored in history at Mount Union and is currently a stay-at-home dad to his 2 children, Cora and Dominic, and is married to Christina. It is my honor to induct into the M Club Hall of Fame John Biacofsky for track and field.
All right, well, this is this is terrifying. I really just want to copy Mr. Belancic. I ran with Eric Belancic, so he said everything. He even took all the Homan jokes. I don't have quite as much to add to that. I think, much like he did, I have to start by thanking my parents. You don't really, nobody gets here typically without their parents. And in my case, they were there every step of the way, including probably this very last step, as I would have tried to find a way out of this somehow. And they sternly recommended I did not. So here I am. And frankly, I'd need to say a lot more than I possibly can. I need to, this can't be a Netflix documentary about my parents. So unfortunately, they have to share the stage with, I have to thank my wife. She did not help me run fast ever. She did not know me when I was actually somewhat of an athlete. Unfortunately, I still think I am, so she has to deal with me running off to work out with our 2 kids. So that's like my little break away from home. And I really appreciate that. So she still suffers the repercussions of my former athletic life. I'd like to also acknowledge my 2 sisters and my niece who came to see me. That was very nice up here. And Christina's parents also came. Thank you. I'll actually cut this pretty short. I do want to mention a little something that I wanted to say it before, and Mr. Belancic is inspiring me. Something that really made me comfortable coming up here and talking, and honestly saying I'm very honored and very happy to be here, is the way the M Club recognized Dan Gorman, gave him, I believe, an honorary M Club membership. Did that a couple years ago, I believe. I noticed that just on my own sleuthing. Dan Gorman was, I can say coaches, which is absolutely true. That helped me get where I was as a sprinter, and I could say my parents, which is absolutely true. But interestingly, Dan Gorman was there when I was injured, which was often, and like a moth to the flame, me and injuries. And I got to know him and deal with him, or he deals with me. And I don't think maybe I would be up here with any athletic achievements worth note if he wasn't there to really go above and beyond. I think that's a pattern of behavior with everything to do with Mount Union. The way they honor, and they even had the memorials up earlier. They've done that in my own life, my own experience, when I had, it's not unique, but personal loss happens to a lot of people. And Mount Union showed grace and did a lot of very special things. The soccer team, I am not nominated for soccer. There's a reason. I was not very good at soccer, but I tried. And when I was on the soccer team, that team really stepped up. And when my brother had passed away, they just went above and beyond to memorialize him, basically. And that's just a pattern of behavior I see with Mount Union that just really shows their value and their importance and their integrity. And with that in mind, I'm really honored to be a part of this in that vein. So thank you very much, and thank you.
It is my pleasure to recognize Willie Dawson for track and field. Willie, a 1986 graduate, was a 3-time All-American in the triple jump, including 2 runner-up finishes at NCAAs. Willie placed second in both the 1986 indoor and the 1986 outdoor NCAA championships, and third at the 1985 NCAA indoors. He was a key member of the Mount Union teams that had 2 top 3 indoor national team finishes, including runner-up in 1985 and third in 1986, and 3 top 5 outdoor national team finishes, including runner-up in 1984, third in 1983, and fifth in 1986. Mount Union won the OAC championship every year Willie competed, which included 1983, 1984, 1985, and 1986 indoor and outdoor champions. Willie was a 4-time OAC individual champion. Willie also was a 2-year varsity basketball starter, the Jim Wuskey Award winner, Black Student Union president, who's who in American colleges and universities, and was nominated for Mr. Muck, MUC. Willie studied business administration while at Mount Union and is currently an accounts receivable senior collections manager at the petting zoo. Willie is married to Marcia J. Dawson and has 3 daughters, Tayshawn Johnson, Dr. Lauren Cottrell, I hope I pronounced that right, and Nina Dewan, and 1 son, Willie K. Dawson, Jr. It is my honor to induct into the M Club Hall of Fame Willie Dawson for track and field.
Well, it's been a bit of an adventure. I guess I'm the senior statesman of this year's class, graduating in '86. I just want to thank God, first of all, because I thought you guys had forgot about me, but you remember. And then next, I want to thank my family, my mom, my dad who passed this year, my sisters, Sandy, Terry, Roslyn, brother-in-law Greg. They were all there as I did my journey through Mount Union. But not only were they there then, they've been there throughout sports since I was 8 years old. Next, I want to thank my wife, Marcia, my daughter, Lauren Catterall, Dr. Lauren Catterall, and my daughter, Nina, who's here today. And without them, their support after graduation, none of this would be possible. I thank the board and everyone who made the decision to induct me. And the biggest thing that I know about track and field is I didn't know how to triple jump when I started. I never had triple jumped before in my life, never did it in high school. Came to Mount Union, Coach Holman and Coach Dagenhart taught me to triple jump. And from there, the rest, basically 3 years is as long as I've ever triple jumped. But I came here originally as a long jumper and played basketball. But I want to thank all of you. Mount Union's a great school. It was Mount Union College when I was here. That's how long ago it was. Now it's Mount Union University. Last thing, I remember our current president when he was a freshman. But now he's the president, so thank you all.
It is my pleasure to recognize Tammy Dougherty Durham for track and field. Tammy is a 1995 graduate. A 5-time All-American, Tammy won All-American honors as a member of the 1995 Outdoor National Championship 4x400 meter relay team and the 1994 4x400 relay team, which finished 3rd in the nation. Tammy also won All-American honors 3 times in the 400 meter dash, finishing 5th in the 1994 indoor championships and 4th in the outdoor championship. In 1995, she finished 5th in the outdoor nationals. While at Mount Union, Tammy studied physical education and has since earned a master's degree in educational leadership and administration from Concordia University, Mequon, Wisconsin. She is currently the Director of Assessment at the School District of Pickens County. Tammy has served in public education for 29 years in various roles, including teaching, coaching, administration, mentoring first-year teachers and assistant principals, as well as coordinating district professional learning. She has earned 3 National Promising Practice Awards been published in various forms, and was named Teacher of the Year. Tammy has been married to her husband, Kevin, for 23 years, and they have 2 children, Victoria and Easton. It is my honor to induct into the M Club Hall of Fame Tammy Dougherty Durham for track and field.
Good evening. First, I would like to thank the University of Mount Union, the M Club Hall of Fame, and the selection committee for this wonderful recognition. It is an honor to become part of such an amazing group. Like Willie, I have one of the 3 black and white photos that went out on the postcard. And so it has been almost 30 years since I ran as a Purple Raider. I'd like to put that into perspective. When I ran, Mount Union was a college. I had a work-study job in admissions where every Monday I had to give the Saturday track meet report to a young admissions counselor who is now Mount Union's president. The indoor track was only 160 meters long. Women could not choose their style of letterman's jacket. I was still a little bitter about that, but this makes up for it. And we typically ran for t-shirts because rings were not given out. So receiving this ring tonight is truly a treasure to me and a very special moment. I would not be here tonight if it were not for so many great people who helped me along the way. So I have a few more thank yous as well. I was blessed to have great coaches both in high school and of course at Mount. Fantastic teammates and supportive family. Thank you to Ron Kokenauer for seeing my potential and taking me to my very first indoor track meet. After my first race, I knew I was addicted. Thank you to Coach Allum for helping me master the stand-up blocks. Thank you to Coach Schilling for recruiting me and taking a chance on a country girl who trained on just a cinder track. And thank you to Coach Homan for making track entertaining and quite fun. Lots of great memories through all of those people. I don't know what I would have done without all of their encouragement, support, and sometimes their butt kicking when I needed it. I am so appreciative of this award for many reasons, but the best one is because it helped me to reconnect with old teammates. I may be the one receiving this award tonight, but my teammates were always there to cheer me on and help push me through those hard training days. Competing as a Purple Raider was great, but in the end, my greatest memories on the track involved my teammates, my coaches, and my many supporters. Thank you, teammates. Thank you to my husband, Kevin, and my children, Easton and Tori. Tori's missing a Morgan Wallen concert to be here tonight, so thank you, Tori. They also had to endure a day of reminiscing as we walked around campus today. And I have to say, I'm quite jealous and proud at the same time of all of the facilities that Mount Union has put into place for their students and athletes. With these facilities, maybe training wouldn't have been such a burden back in the day. And finally, I would like to thank my parents, Mark and Carol Dougherty. I am who I am today because of their love and support, because of the lessons they taught me, because they believed in me, and because they pushed me to be the best. Many days my mom would suffer either in the blistering sun getting sunburn or in the freezing cold covered with blankets to ensure I had my Gatorade and my snacks to keep my strength up. And my dad would always be on that third turn, and my teammates know him well. He would always be yelling, "Kick it in!" And every important track moment I had, my parents were always there. So thank you for teaching me that hard work pays off in the end. The harder you work, the more confident you are. Thank you for teaching me that quitting is never an option. You always finish what you start. And thank you for always pushing me beyond what I thought I was capable of. Whatever you do, strive to always be the best at it. My hope is that the athletes of today recognize how special Mount Union is and that they stop taking selfies long enough to enjoy their moments. Thank you, Mount Union, for giving me yet another moment tonight.
It is my pleasure to recognize Pierre Garcon for football. Pierre is a 2010 graduate who was a key member of 2 national championship teams in 2005 and 2006, and a 2-time first-team All-American in 2007 from D3Football.com, and in 2006 from the American Football Coaches Association. Pierre was a 2-time winner of the OAC Ed Sherman Award, given to the OAC's most valuable receiver, and was a 2-time All-OAC first-team recipient. Pierre's name is among program record book leaders in multiple categories, including 5th in career receiving touchdowns with 47, 7th in career receptions with 202, 8th in career receiving yards with 3,363, and tied for 9th in total touchdowns scored with 52. He also holds the school playoff record for the longest reception with 92 yards. Mount Union won the OAC every year he played. Pierre also won All-American honors as a member of the 2006 NCAA Outdoor Championship 4x100-meter team. In 2008, Pierre was drafted into the NFL by the Indianapolis Colts and had an illustrious professional career, including the NFL reception leader in 2013, multiple 1,000 receiving yard seasons, and started and caught a touchdown in Super Bowl XLIV 44. His 19-yard touchdown capped off a 96-yard drive, tying the longest touchdown scoring drive in Super Bowl history. While at Mount Union, Pierre earned a degree in mass media. It is my honor to induct into the M Club Hall of Fame Pierre Garcon for football.
Good evening. It is honestly a dream come true to be here. Sorry. Mount Union, M Club, you guys have made me feel like a champion every day of my life, and I really appreciate that. I was proud to come to Mount Union. I was honored to be an alumni of Mount Union. Now to be a Hall of Fame of Mount Union, it's just keeps getting better and better. The community, the environment, the environment has been a special place for me here. You guys took me in. It was truly, a dream come true. Ironically, the first person I met on campus was LK. I showed up with my mom. We drove from South Florida, pulling up to the Gulling Center, and the first person to come out the Gulling Center was LK. And after talking with him and introducing him to my mom, I knew I was in good hands. And second person I met was Jason Candle, my offensive coordinator, receiver coach. He was like a brother to me, a mentor, a great mentor to me that put me on the right track, and as well as my offensive teammates. Those guys, they inspired me every day that I played. I wanted them to know that I played through effort and didn't speak much on the team, but always tried to show how much I cared about the game, how much I cared about each other by how I played. Another guy that played a very big part of my life was Coach VK. He was a great mentor. He had that defense riled up, and I was always proud to represent those guys and play against those guys in practice and not in the games, because we had a great defense every year I was here, and they made us very proud. And Daryl was on that defense, giving me a hard time in practice, but we knew on game days that they were bringing it, and we were very proud of those guys. Speaking of my teammates, I have my brothers, Terrence Mooring and Daryl Ely here. I've always been proud of those guys. Still proud of Coach Daryl Ely. He's doing great things at Mount Union. You made my time here at Mount Union very special, because we can always lean on each other for, anything and everything. my offensive teammates, you guys are amazing. I have some of my guys here, Eric Safran, he's running around here, and Jason Lewis. You know, we was always proud. I was always proud to play with you guys because before I came to Mount Union, I did research and you guys, you know, were greater than advertised. It was truly an honor. And I also want to thank my other teammate, Scott Castro. He was a great guy when I came to Mount Union. He showed me the ropes. He took me under his wing and, you know, he showed me how to be a Mount Union preparator. It was truly an honor to run into Scott Castro as a great teammate. As I said, the community here, the environment was always great. My first athletic trainer, equipment manager, Joe Garcon, he took great care of me on and off the field, and it holds true to this day. And he always made me feel special every time I step out on the football field. He gave me everything I needed, all the equipment. He always kept me warm. He knew I was from Florida, so he knew I'd be freezing a little bit. So it was a special moment, and to this day, we still have a great relationship, and I appreciate you every day for that, Joe. I appreciate you a lot. You know, off the field, when I came to Mount Union, I also had a lot of help from Richard Jackson. He was the BSU leader. He helped me out. He saw me on campus, and he was like, "Hey, are you Pierre?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Hey, I'm going to take care of you. I need you to come see me at the BSU, come get a haircut, help you with your media training." And he introduced me to now the president, Mr. King, Greg King, and I'm very proud of that. Those guys, they were like a father figure, a big brother to me, and they took good care of me without me even asking. And that's the community, the environment that Mount Union has, the University of Mount Union now have, and the M Club as well. And it truly was a special place for me. You guys made me feel at home, and I always appreciate that, and I always love coming back to be a part of this great community. I can't say enough, but I really thank everybody for this journey because this dream has become bigger than I even could imagine. And I really appreciate this place, and I really appreciate you guys, the M Club, Mount Union, and everybody that's a part of this family. Thank you, guys.
It is my pleasure to recognize Kyle Karpinski for men's basketball. Kyle is a 2005 graduate and was a National Association of Basketball Coaches All-American First Team selection, only one of 3 players in the history of the program to earn First Team All-American. Kyle was a 2-time All-OAC First Team selection in 2004, 2005, and in 2005, 2006. He ranks 10th all-time with 1,348 career points and holds the school record for consecutive games played with 108 and ranks 3rd in program history for most games played overall. Mount Union won a total of 68 games during his career. Kyle studied sport management while at Mount Union and is currently a senior manager of international operations for FlexJet. He is married to Katie and has 2 children, Cal and Bryn. It is my honor to induct into the M Club Hall of Fame Kyle Karpinski for men's basketball.
Good evening. First of all, congrats to all the other inductees here tonight. I'm honored and proud to be in this class with you all. And thank you to my family. A lot of my family came out tonight. I appreciate you all being here. But my biggest thank you goes to my parents. They sacrificed a lot for me to solely focus on school and basketball during my time here. You know, when I found out about this, I realized that I hadn't thought about my playing days in quite some time, especially since before I had kids. So recently I did take the time to reflect back on those days, and 2 things came to mind that I thought I'd share tonight. The first one, I remember when I graduated, I was extremely proud of the fact that from my freshman year to my senior year, there was 108 games played in the men's basketball program, and I played in all 108 of those games. But what I recently realized, and what's more impressive to me than that, was out of that 108 games, my parents attended 100 of them. And why that's so impressive is they live an hour and a half away from here. Basketball's played in the winter. They had full-time jobs. And they made all those home games, all those away games, and driving through inclement weather. And really all they missed was a tournament in Arizona, a tournament in Virginia, and 2 other games. So that's something that I really appreciate and I wanted to share with you guys tonight. And the second thing is just coaches and teammates. They're the reason I'm here. So I'd like to take a moment just to recognize a few of them. My coaches at the time were Coach Lee Hood, Coach Terry Wygand, and Coach Dan McDuffie. Coach Hood and Coach Wygand, they recruited me over the course of 2 years to come play here, and I'm forever grateful to them. The guys that I played down low with, Rob Palaskis, Curtis Stevens, and Josh Long. Rob and Curtis were juniors when I was a freshman, and I learned everything from them. My favorite group of point guards, Clay Sanders, Tony Basala, LJ Helton, the hardest working guys on the court, practice and in games, our vocal floor leaders. The shooting guards, Brad Gerard, Chris Blakely, Brad Gerard and Chris Switzer. Brad Gerard is the best shooter in program history, and Chris Switzer was a freshman when I was a senior. I was so impressed with his maturity and his basketball IQ. He went on to have a phenomenal career, and I hope he's up here one day. He deserves it. And our wings, Chris Blakely, Brett Hirschberger, and Eric Fender, these were the guys that could play all 5 positions if you needed them to in a pinch, and just really good basketball players. I wanted to mention all these guys because they're the reason I'm standing here. They're great basketball players, great teammates. More importantly, they were guys that I love being around, and they're great human beings, which is something that this university attracts. And more so than standing up here tonight, I'm more proud of the fact that I was part of that group and experienced those years with those guys. I remember being a very nervous freshman, not knowing what to expect, not knowing if and when I was ever going to play. But I remember telling myself before I got here, like, stick it out all 4 years, you'll be better off for it. And to think back of those days and to fast forward to now, and to think back to those days with that mindset and coming back now, it's crazy that I'm here right now because this was not a goal. This was not something I thought of, or I didn't have goals like this. My mindset here for the 4 years was I just want to play basketball. I want to be part of a team, and I want to be around guys as tall as me. So, no, thank you. And all the other inductees, congratulations. I'm honored to be here. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
It is my pleasure to recognize Vince Kehres as a football coach. Vince is a 1998 graduate who led Mount Union to 2 NCAA Division III national championships in 2015 and 2017. His 7-year career record as head coach of 59 wins and 6 losses were more victories than any college coach at any level during that period. Vince's team had 7 NCAA playoff appearances, won 6 OAC titles, and advanced to 5 national championship games. He was a 3-time OAC Coach of the Year, a 3-time Lee Tressel Ohio College Coach of the Year, and 3-time Columbus Dispatch Ohio College Coach of the Year. Vince coached numerous All-Americans, All-OAC selections, and special award winners, including quarterback Kevin Burke, who won the Dougherty Trophy, Division III's version of the Heisman twice, the first and only 2-time winner all time. Vince was part of 12 of Mount Union's 13 national championships. Vince, prior to his time as head coach, he served 13 seasons as an assistant under his father and then head coach Larry Kehres. During his time as defensive coordinator from 2005 to 2012, the Purple Raiders defense was ranked in the top 10 nationally in all but one season. Vince coached the top-ranked defense in all of Division III in 2007, 2008, and 2012. He also served as Mount Union's strength and conditioning coordinator from 2005 to 2013, as well as the recruiting coordinator from 2009 to 2013. Overall, he spent 21 years at Mount Union as a player and a coach. Vince was a 4-year letter winner at defensive end for the Purple Raiders and a member of 2 national championship teams in 1996 and 1997, and earned all OAC honors during his senior year. Vince studied political science at Mount Union and is currently the defensive coordinator and linebackers coach at the University of Toledo. Vince is married to Lindsay, and they have 3 children, Evan, Bo, and Jackson. It is my honor to induct into the M Club Hall of Fame Vince Kehres as a football coach. Vince was unable to attend this evening, but has provided this video acceptance to share with you all.
I'd just like to start off by thanking the M Club for this honor. I'm extremely humbled and grateful. Congratulations to the other honorees. You're a great group of former student athletes, and I'm honored to be inducted alongside of you in your accomplishments. I'd also like to thank my family, my wife Lindsay. She's been with me from the very beginning here. We got married on a Saturday night, and 2 days at Austintown Fitch High School started on Monday morning. She's been a great partner and so supportive, and I appreciate my boys, Evan and Bo and Jackson, and I'm so glad that you guys have been a part of our lives. I'm also grateful to Lindsay's family, her mom and dad, Paul and Lori, for all of your support along the years here, and you know, certainly my parents, my mom Linda, my dad Larry, you know, raised us with core values and installed a work ethic into us, and you know, did so by example every day. I wouldn't be where I'm at without you, and certainly appreciate you and love you very much. I grew up in a great community in Alliance. I had tremendous coaches and teachers growing up, and neighbors in the community. Duke Barrett lived 3 houses down the road from us growing up. So, you know, I'm very blessed to call Alliance home. It always will be. And now that we've been gone for a few years, I love coming back and seeing familiar faces. I'd also, you know, like to talk just for a second about my college experience. You know, going to Mount Union was one of the best decisions of my life. Having the opportunity to be coached by a great group of men, to play alongside a great group of teammates, you know, and to be a part of some national championships and create some great memories, that certainly helped mold me into what I am today. You know, there's been so many players through the years that have had the opportunity to coach at Mount Union, and you know, so thankful to all you. You know, there's just too many to start naming names, but you know, I particularly appreciate that group of captains that I have had in 2013. My first year as the head coach at Mount Union, and you know, helping me to handle that transition, and you know, to show great leadership and to support me and the coaching staff. And you know, I think that group of men really set the tone for, you know, what the future would be. And you know, we didn't win all of our games that year, but you know, I think that year really set the tone, and the players believed that, you know, that we were capable of sustaining success, you know, after that season. I'm appreciative to the guys that I had on my staff along the way, you know, Jeff and Chris Kappas and Daryl, and of course Woj, you know, a lot of young guys and older guys along the way, Coach Gulling, you know, just I'm greatly appreciative to all of your work. You know, the players and families that entrusted me along the years to send your son to play for us, you know, I appreciate you. You know, Lenny Rake was, you know, a great man, and certainly a blessing to have him as the SID when I was the head football coach. And he's greatly missed, and I appreciate him. Dean Marini, congratulations on your honor. I still appreciate all that you did for our program during the years. And then Joe Garcon, Joe was a fixture for me, during my time as the head coach there. And I think we had lunch almost every Thursday together during the season, and was a great friend for me during that stretch of years. And greatly appreciate you. Again, thank you for this honor. I'm humbled. Go Raiders. Go Rockets.
It is my pleasure to recognize Christopher Kern for football. Chris is a 2020 graduate who was a two-time first-team All-American cornerback for multiple organizations in 2002 from the AFCA first team and Associated Press first team, D3 football first team, Football Gazette first team, and in 2001 from Football Gazette he was first team, and D3 football he was first team. He was also a two-time first team All-OAC selection in 2001 and 2002. Chris is tied for first in program history in career passes defended with 58. While fifth in career kick return average of 28 yards. He is tied for sixth in career interceptions with 15. In the classroom, Chris was a two-time co-sci the All-American. The Raiders won the OAC every year of Chris's career and was the Lee Trussell Award winner in 2002 and 2003. He was a Hula Bowl participant and member of the Detroit Lions for one season in 2003 to 2004. Chris majored in physical education and health at Mount Union. He is currently a business owner at Preferred LLC. Chris is married to Jen and has 3 children, Ryder, Lola, and Wyatt. It is my honor to induct into the M Club Hall of Fame Chris Kern for football.
I bet those of you with the black and white photos don't feel so bad anymore. My goodness. Thank you to the M Club. Thank you to Mount Union, all my fellow inductees. Congratulations on your awesome accomplishments. My Mount Union story started at St. Cloud State University in Minnesota. I was sitting in a study hall when a big offensive lineman named Ray Nunez, we called him Ray Rock, came up to me and asked me what I was doing for spring break. I didn't have any plans, so as he rambled on about this small school in Ohio that's winning a bunch of championships, I said, yeah, why not? Let's take a journey. So Ray Rock, Tom Underdahl, TU baller, buddy from high school, and I, who was going to school with me, decided to jump in Ray Rock's SUV and head to Alliance, Ohio. We met Coach Kehres, we met Coach Don Montgomery, we toured the facility with Rocco Caniglio. Rocco's here tonight somewhere, traveled in from Tennessee. Thanks for being here, Rock, a good friend of mine to this day. We felt something different. It was special. Mount Union is a special place. We stayed the night with brilliant coaches or football minds like Matt Campbell and Jason Candle, who's getting inducted here tonight, obviously not here. But the place had a different culture than we were used to. And I knew in my heart that this was the right place for me. So now I'm in a situation where I have to go back to Minnesota and I have to present this to my parents. So not only do I plan on leaving a scholarship program to go to a school that's much more expensive, but it's 12 or 13 hours away from everything I've ever known. So I provide this information to my parents, and my parents, you guys, it's putting myself in your shoes now, like with older kids, it's truly unbelievable. You guys gave Jake and I, my brother came in, thanks for coming in, you surprised me, man, and I love you. That fire in my belly, that came from you. But you gave us the foundation of faith and family and all that good stuff, know the difference between right and wrong, but what you also afforded us the opportunity was to make our own mistakes. You gave us the freedom to make our own choices. So as we matured and started making those choices, we obviously would celebrate the successes, but when we fell, the two of you would be there to pick us up and get us back on our feet. And I can't thank you enough. I love you both so much. You're fighters, you're awesome, and thanks for being here tonight. Approximately a block from where we stand right now, I met my beautiful wife Jen as she sat in a dorm room, crisscross applesauce with a book in her lap. I was going to study with one of her roommates and friends, and those silly little butterflies I got in my belly back then, baby, I still get them now. You're a huge chunk of my everything, and thank you for being such an incredible wife and mother. You're pretty special. 17 years of marriage. We have 3 beautiful children. My oldest son, Ryder's here somewhere. He just turned 16 last week. My baby girl, Lola Beans, turned 13, and then Wyatt's down there giggling with his crazy hair. You guys are all special in your own way, uniquely talented, all good students, all good athletes, just good people. Coaches, teachers, they all speak so highly of you. I love you guys. We're going to face adversity as a family, and Daddy's going to be there every step of the way. I promise you that. All right, that stuff's over with. Back to Mount Union. All right. Pretty successful at Mount Union, personally. The teams I was on, we were 42-0, 3 national championships, never lost a game. The tremendous memories, lifelong friendships, but the thing I remember the most is the incredible coaching staff, and what you take away is you see the tireless effort from these guys, and they're just unselfish and work so darn hard to prepare you for the best that team is going to present to you that Saturday, regardless of the record. And what I took from it is I saw how hard the coaches worked, and you could go down the list. It's young and new coaches. It's Mount Union. It's the machine. It's the way that they create this. And it's really a special thing. So I want to thank all the coaches especially, because it means a ton. It's the same thing. Justin, my business partner's here with his beautiful wife, Crystal. Thank you guys for coming. But we bring in good people and with good character, and our job is to get them to pull the rope in the same direction and accomplish the task, and we've done a pretty good job at that so far. Justin was a tremendous hockey player. We're both competitive guys, so it works really well, but I appreciate your leadership, and I appreciate you, brother. Last 2 I have to thank, Coach down Montgomery and my advisor at Mount Union, Mark Himmeline. I was a couple classes short of finishing my degree when I left to train in New Orleans before the draft, and real life started, and started making some money and had a family and all that good stuff. But you guys would always, every quarter or every 6 months, you'd shoot me a text or shoot me an email saying, hey, you got a couple classes, come finish this degree. And it means something. And I appreciate you guys, your friendship and your mentorship and your leadership, and, rattling my cage so I finish this. I think that's about it. I know I'm probably over my time, so I apologize for that, but thank you so much. I'm humbly honored, and I appreciate it.
It is my pleasure to recognize Jason Lewis for football. Jason is a 2008 graduate who was a 2-time first-team All-American offensive lineman in 2005 and 2006 from D3Football.com, a 2-time All-OAC first-team selection in 2005 and 2006. Jason was named the OAC Mike Gregory Award Most Valuable Offensive Back or Offensive Lineman winner twice in 2005 and 2006. He was a key member of 2 national championship teams in 2005 and 2006. Jason has an undergraduate degree in business and is currently an assistant head football coach at Heidelberg University. Jason is married to Amanda and has 2 children, Brayden and Colton. It is my honor to induct into the M Club Hall of Fame Jason Lewis for football.
Wow, this is an amazing honor. I want to start off by congratulating all the inductees and award winners and thanking the committee for this amazing honor. It is sincerely the honor of a lifetime to be mentioned alongside some of the greatest Purple Raiders of all time. You have to excuse me as I dust off some of my public speaking skills I learned here at Mount Union. I might have taken that class a few times, so we'll just bear with me. All right. So, I also want to recognize a few people here tonight celebrating this amazing honor with me. First are my parents. I can't thank them enough, for everything that they've done for me over the course of my lifetime. Instilling core values in my life and them traveling to countless football games. My mom called in sick for the first time in her entire life to come to the national championship game. So pretty cool stuff. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. And I love you guys. Also here tonight is my brother Scott, probably 2 of the most competitive people you'll meet. I'm probably the better football player of the 2 of us, so just let that be known. But I appreciate you having here, celebrating this with me tonight. I'm beyond honored to have my 2 sons here, Brayden and Colton. Those guys, talk about competitive, those guys just ram their heads off each other every day, come out to football practice, and it's just awesome having those guys around. And, they're literally my greatest joy. So I appreciate you guys. And then most importantly, my wife. Without Amanda, she keeps, us 3 together. She's got to take care of her three boys. I appreciate everything she does for our family. She works her butt off, like beyond anyone could ever imagine, takes care of our kids, and then I show up for dinner and she's like, there you go. So it's pretty amazing. Thank you, honey. Another person that I have to thank is my high school football coach, Eric Keller. Without him, I wouldn't be standing here right now. I was sitting at a freshman football game, and I was a 6'4" basketball player, and he goes, "Why don't you come out for football?" And I'm like, I think I'm going to play basketball. Well, a couple months later, I ended up quitting basketball because they wanted me to run a 400-yard dash in like a minute and 20 seconds. That just wasn't going to happen. So we kind of worked past that, and my dad goes, "Well, you better figure out something to do." So I went out and played football, and that was kind of the rest of it. So, and then the last thing are the coaches here. The coaches here at Mount Union are special people. Obviously, LK, Coach Woj recruited me, VK, Coach Campbell, Coach Candle, Coach Wake, Coach Sharkey. If I miss somebody, I apologize, but all of those guys play a huge part of my life, and I appreciate everything you've done. Coach Kehres, I can't tell you enough of what you've done for me and the lessons you've taught me, over the course of these, last, I don't know, it's almost 20 years now, it feels like. So I appreciate everything that you've done. A couple moments that kind of my welcome to college football moment. We're playing at Wash U. It was like the first game I actually played in, not playing mop-up time, and get out of the huddle, don't get down quite fast enough, and LK goes, "Get your down." And my parents drove out to St. Louis with a couple of their friends, and I think my mom still talks about that moment to this day. So, that's one of the LK moments. Another one kind of involves a clipboard. We're not going to go into depth about it, but I brought him a new clipboard the next day, and we made up. So I jumped off a few times too many that day in practice. So, but I appreciate everything you've done, Coach. And then, the other guy that I need to talk about is Matt Campbell. So Matt came the spring of 2005, and I thought he was absolutely crazy. Like, this guy's having us come in Sunday nights, locking the doors of the Gulling Center, making us do who knows what. And I'm like, why are we doing this? And then summer comes around, and he's sitting there waiting for us to get off work. We put pools in, and we would literally work till 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and he's sitting at his desk. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't you have a life? Like, come on, man. And it really, really came to full fruition. We got into the season, and one of the things that he preached was to finish. And the guys, everybody, probably makes fun of me for it at this point, but it's a huge piece of my offensive line manual today. And, kind of the one thing he said in one of our first meetings was, you guys need to finish your block 10 yards down the field every single play. And I took that to absolute heart. And that was my mentality. You can ask most people here, if I wasn't on the football field, I'm pretty just laid back, easy guy. But as soon as I step between those lines, I'm going to go beat the crap out of you, and that was my deal. And he got the absolute best out of me. So I can't thank him enough for the things that he's done and really allowed me to fall in love with the game of football. How to study film, how to, just the little things that make you that great of a football player. So I appreciate that a ton. And then lastly is just the relationships on campus. There's a lot of guys in this room that we played with. There's a few guys that without them, I probably wouldn't be standing here today. Ryan Creechbaum, Tim Reich, and Jeff Dart. Without you three, I would not be here today. I would have been lucky to last a semester here at Mount Union. So I appreciate all three of you especially. In our offensive line room, I feel we had the tightest knit group that you could ever imagine in a room. And, guys like Tom Manning, Jeff Goodwill, Creech, Reich, Dart, Henniger, Saff, Blanchard, Summers, Hubler, Nate Williams, all those guys are a huge piece of why I'm up here. I'm grateful for the opportunity and all the Raiders that I shared the football field with. It's great to see Pierre. I feel like I haven't seen you for a long time, but it's great to see you. And I want to thank the committee and thank everybody for this great honor. Thank you.
It is my pleasure to recognize Jeffrey Powles for track and field. Jeffrey is a 1992 graduate and was a 7-time All-American, including the national champion in the 1500 at the 1990 NCAA Indoor Championships and runner-up in the 1500 at the 1992 NCAA Indoors. He placed top 3 in the country 6 of his 7 NCAA appearances. Jeffrey also placed 7th at the 1990 Outdoors in the 1500. He was a key member of 2 top 10 NCAA indoor team finishes and 7 total OAC championship teams, 4 indoor and 3 outdoor. Jeffrey has an undergraduate degree in sports management and is currently the owner of 2 fly fishing outdoor companies, Fish on Colorado, and riverbum.com, and is an HOA operations manager with Loca Homes. Jeffrey is married to Laura and has a son, Josh, who is attending Montana State University. It is my honor to induct into the M Club Hall of Fame Jeffrey Powles for track and field. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys that needs to pull out glasses. It's been 31 years since I've been on campus here, and quite a few memories have quickly come back. So first of all, I'd like to thank University of Mount Union. I can't say that. Mount Union College. That's what it was when I was here. So thank you very much to the university. Thank you to the committee. I'm truly honored and humbled and proud to be surrounded by all the other inductees as well, too. So thank you. Willie, I'd like to thank you for being the senior spokesman. If it wasn't you, it'd be me. So glad that you're here, and congratulations. So Mount Union College, University of Mount Union, created a whole bunch of friendships for me. I'd like to thank quite a few friends, all my teammates that were here, Phil and Becky. They came in. I can't thank you guys enough for being here tonight. Thank you so much. And of course, I'd like to thank my wife, Lori, for making the trip out from Colorado as well. 2 a.m. Arrival in Cleveland is always a good thing, so I appreciate you putting up with that. Thank you. And I couldn't thank enough people, but most importantly, my parents. So my mom and dad, like many of you that participated in the sports here, they came to every single home track meet and cross-country meet. I got to say it, I'd sooner go watch a football game than watch a track meet. So I really appreciate them coming, and I can't thank them enough. So I didn't think I'd graduate high school, let alone get into a college. And then once I got into a college, they told me that I needed to pick a major. And I was like, well, I don't even know what that is. I don't know what I want to do. And I fell into sport management. Jim Tomei really helped me through my 4 years and actually made me graduate, so it was kind of cool. I really appreciate that, and thank you to him. So in high school, my track coach, I remember first meet as a freshman. He's like, okay, guys, come on in. I took the other team's best scores and best times, put them up against ours, and we're only going to lose by 40 points today. So I went from that experience to Coach Homan. And Coach Homan, he taught me many things. First of all and foremost, he taught me what a hibachi was. You guys have to run up there around that hibachi and come back. I had no idea what he was talking about, let alone did I understand him. Yeah, I know what a hibachi is. For those of you who don't, it's a grill, nothing more than a grill. So that was a neat experience. First meeting him, he came out to a couple high school meets, supported me, helped me make the decision to come here to Mount Union, and I can't appreciate that enough. So thank you to him. I've been back on campus, just today. It's the first time in really 31 years, and quite a few memories have been brought up. Walking through the campus, I walked a lap. I did not run a lap. I walked a lap on the track, and it's an amazing place, amazing people. And I wouldn't be where I am in life today without Mount Union. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
It is my pleasure to recognize Nicholas Saluppo for track and field. Nicholas is a 2008 graduate and was a three-time All-American, including a member of the 2006 NCAA Outdoor Championship 4x100 meter relay team. Nicholas placed third in the 55 meters at the 2007 NCAA Indoors and seventh in the 100 meters at the 2006 NCAA Outdoors. Nicholas was part of two school records, the indoor sprint medley with a time of 3:30.98 and the outdoor 4x100 meter relay with a time of 40:30. He won a combined 5 OAC individual championships. He was a key member of 3 top 8 NCAA team finishes, including 4th at the 2008 Outdoors, and 7th OAC team champions, 7 OAC team champions, sorry. Nicholas majored in exercise science while at Mount Union. He is currently an author writing books on philosophy and spirituality. It is my honor to induct into the M Club Hall of Fame Nicholas Saluppo for track and field.
Well, I don't have much of a voice, but I do have a little bit of a voice, so I wanted to use it up here. I was inspired by my teammate, Johnny, and then Lamp. You're out there, there he is, Lamp. You guys inspired me to come up here and say whatever I'm able. And I want to start out by, I want to acknowledge my parents, Mike and Maureen, that they were at every meet for 4 years, indoor and outdoor, and that's an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 6-hour ride. It didn't matter that they were there at every meet, and that it means a lot. Having that consistency. Back then, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think, oh wow, it's a big deal they're doing that. Now that I'm a 39-year-old adult, I realize that driving all those hours every week is a very big sacrifice. So I do appreciate that. And I want to say a word about, I think for all of us, our sports were life-changing. For some of us, and I'm feeling this right now, it was life saving. As an athlete, I wasn't, as a freshman, I wasn't anywhere near a national level athlete, but I loved it and I enjoyed it. And every day, all I wanted to do was run, train, lift. And by the time I was a senior or a junior, I was a national level athlete. And that meant a lot at that time, but I didn't know what it would mean later in my life. And sometimes, I'm aware of it every day of my life. You heard maybe that I'm an author, and I'm aware of that every day, and I'm blown away that I'm able to do that as a full-time job every day. But it's a moment like this where I'm up here and I hear my voice reverberating right back into my own face that I'm so in the presence of my gratitude. And like I said, when I was a freshman, I wasn't anywhere near a national level athlete. And I went out there every day, and I either ran, lifted, did mobility, whatever it was, and said, what do I need to do today in order to be in order to make nationals in a year, 2 years, or whenever that might have been. And so I graduated, and I was a personal trainer for 12, 13 years. And I knew I didn't really want that, but I didn't really know if I would be able to write. And I went and got my master's and became a therapist. And because of my voice, I ended up saying, well, this is unsustainable. I was wrecked every week as a result of using my voice all week, every week. And I said, well, I've always wanted to write, and I'm gonna do that. And so I said, all right, I'm gonna write a book. And I had to say, all right, writing a book seems like a lot. I mean, how do you go from nothing at all to, all right, I'm making a living writing? And I did what I did as an athlete. I said, all right, what do I need to do today? And this hour, and this hour, and this hour every day. And I did that for 3 years, and it was my 8th or 9th book that about a year after I launched, it ended up taking off. And that was right around when I just was getting physically ill from using my voice every day at work. And that book began to take off, and I was able to say, all right, I don't need to see clients all day, every day now. And I realized that if I didn't do what I did in order to become the athlete I was, I wouldn't have known how to pinpoint each step along the way of becoming a writer and an author. So as I look back on that, I'm in awe of how something that I wanted in a very maybe young way, I want to be an All-American athlete. All right, that ended up saving my life later on. So I'm glad for this opportunity to share that and express that to you all, and maybe I'll chat with some of you later. Thank you.
It is my pleasure to recognize Natalie Lambert Williams for cross country. Natalie is a 1998 graduate who has the best individual finish at the NCAA championships in program history, receiving 20th in 1997. Natalie was the first All-American in team history and is still only one of 2 to this day. She earned 2 top 3 finishes at the OAC championship, including runner-up in 1997. In total, she placed in the top 10 3 times at the OAC championships, earning All-American honors 3 times in 1995, 1996, and 1997. Natalie was also co-captain of the cross-country team for 3 years and holds the school record for the 5,000 meter for both indoor and outdoor track and the 3,000 meter for indoor track. Natalie was also a presidential scholar at Mount Union. Natalie majored in biology as an undergraduate student and has since gone on to receive a master's degree in forensic science from the University of New Haven, Connecticut. She is currently a special agent with the FBI. Natalie has 2 sons, Reese and Hudson. It is my honor to induct into the M Club Hall of Fame Natalie Lambert Williams. I'll hold on to the bag. Okay. Sure.
Thank you so much. First, I'd like to thank the members of the M Club for presenting me with this honor. I would like to thank all of my immediate family members for being here. I know how incredibly fortunate I am to have both my parents here with me tonight. They traveled to every cross-country meet in both high school and college, so it's only fitting that they're here today. My brother is here with my niece. My other niece and sister-in-law were not able to make it because she had a basketball scrimmage. I now have 2 boys of my own, and quite honestly, their knowledge of cross-country is fairly limited, and I think they genuinely believe I ran across the country while I was in college. My Coach Frasinko, is here this evening. I have a teammate here, so I'm incredibly fortunate to have continued support throughout my life. Those early years of competition really taught me some valuable lessons, the first of which was leadership. On the first day of practice, I showed up with the other freshmen and we were told to go run a 6-mile course. I had never been to Alliance outside of my college visit. GPS was not a thing at that particular time, so our only option of knowing where to run was to either keep up with an upperclassman or get lost. I came to call it the fraternity hazing approach to introduction. But when I showed up my sophomore year, and there was only one other returning freshman, I decided that there had to be a better way. So I took the freshmen on every course that we ran at least one time so they would know where they were supposed to go and they wouldn't have that same terror that I had when I was a freshman. I thought that there was value in making a connection together. You have to build a foundation first and then push them. People can't get better if they quit early, and you quit early when there's no reason to stay. Speaking of quitting, I had also played basketball here my freshman year, and that was hard. I had cross country in the fall, basketball in the winter. And I can honestly say I didn't have a great experience in either sport that year. I was injured in running, and quite honestly, I felt pretty outmanned in basketball. So I had decided over the summer to quit both. But my parents had always told me that I needed to make the call if I was going to quit something. So I called Coach Knoblow of the basketball team, and she was kind and supportive. And then I called Coach Schilling for running, but he told me that he wasn't going to be the coach the next year. He was going to a different college, and they didn't know who the coach was going to be that year. So I found myself in a bit of a quandary. Can you actually quit something if there's nobody to tell? Well, I must have decided the answer was no because I showed up in August ready to go. And here's the thing, we are all just one phone call away from altering the course of our lives. I could have left the team at that point, but I never would have known what I was capable of doing. After my junior year, when I wasn't too far off from qualifying for nationals, I decided to really dedicate myself to running. And I ran both indoor and outdoor my junior and senior season. And I got 2 minutes faster. I know it doesn't seem possible, but I really did. I won races. I set the school record, which I may still actually have because they changed the distance shortly after I graduated. I became the first female All-American from Mount Union, and I had the most fun I had ever had in running. Because it turns out that being good at something is a lot more fun than being mediocre at something. My memories of that time are pretty scattered, as I assume most of our memories are. I remember cool mornings and tired legs. I I remember cheering and yelling. I remember that moment at about the 1.25 mile mark that was always my mental weak spot. That voice that would say, "You went too fast that first mile. You're not even halfway done and you are so tired. You're not going to make it." But I would force myself to just keep going a little bit farther, and I would get to that halfway mark, and I knew that I could. Running gave me mental toughness. It might hurt, it might get ugly, but I would make it. So I learned leadership and perseverance and commitment and tenacity. But I have also learned how much I took it all for granted at the time. As a young athlete, you can't fully appreciate how good it feels to be acknowledged on a daily basis. And then normal life settles in, and there's a lot of greatness in that, but there's not necessarily a lot of recognition. And you can have very tough years. And this was one of those years for me. I've had to dig deep into my reserves of lessons that I learned when I competed. And on the same day my mother suffered a fall, I got a voicemail about the Hall of Fame. Literally the exact same day. Sometimes the universe knows when you need some good news. So I thank you. I thank you for remembering me and for doing it at the exact moment that I needed it. These ceremonies don't just acknowledge people for their past accomplishments. They remind us of who we were when we were young and confident and believed that we could accomplish anything through hard work and perseverance. And I needed that reminder this year. I was honored then, and I'm honored now to be a Purple Raider. Go Mount.
At this time, it's my honor to present 2 Elite M Club awards, the Duke Barrett Award of Excellence and the Honorary M Club Award. The Duke Barrett Award of Excellence shall be presented to a member of M Club in recognition for career experiences of activities that have brought honor and recognition to the individual and, in turn, to Mount Union. This award is the highest honor outside of selection for the M Club Hall of Fame that M Club may bestow upon an individual member. Duke Barrett was a 1951 graduate of Mount Union and a former head football coach. He was a true Purple Raider and a devoted supporter of M Club and our athletic programs. Duke chaired the Hall of Fame selection committee for many years and was very passionate about the process. It is only fitting that this award is named after him to symbolize all that Duke brought to M Club and Mount Union. This year's Duke Barrett Award of Excellence goes to Jason Candle. Jason made an impact as a student athlete and a coach at Mount Union. In his 6 years as an assistant football coach at Mount Union, the Purple Raiders went 83-4 and won the NCAA Division III National Championships in 2005, 2006, and 2008, and were runner-ups in 2003 and 2007. As a player, Jason was an All-OAC first-team selection in 2001 as he led the team in receptions with 41, yards received with 778, and touchdowns with 9. He was a key member of the 2000-2001 National Championship teams and finished his career with 57 receptions for 1,037 yards and 11 scores. Jason began his coaching career at Mount Union in 2003 as the receivers coach. He was the offensive coordinator in 2007 and assumed the duties as the program's recruiting coordinator. In his 2 seasons as offensive coordinator, the Purple Raiders compiled a record of 29-1, winning the national championships in 2008 and finishing as runner-up in 2007. Jason is currently the head coach at the University of Toledo, where he's had great success. He became the 27th head football coach for the University of Toledo in December of 2015. In 7 seasons as Toledo's head football coach, Jason's record is 54-32, with 2 MAC championships titles and 6 bowl appearances. No team in the Mid-American Conference has won more games than Toledo during his tenure. In 2017, Jason was named the MAC Coach of the Year, leading the Rockets to their first outright MAC West Division crown since 1998 and the first league championship since 2004. In 2022, the Rockets compiled a 9-5 record and won another league title, defeating East Division champion Ohio University 17-7 in the 2022 MAC championship game. Toledo went on to defeat Liberty in the roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl, becoming the first Rocket team since 2001 to win a MAC championship title and a bowl game in the same season. Jason has had a tremendous record of developing players, as 8 Rockets have been selected in the NFL draft since 2017. In addition, Toledo has had the #1 recruiting class in the MAC 5 times during his tenure. Prior to assuming the helm of the Midnight Blue and Gold, Jason has been serving as the program's assistant head coach, offensive coordinator. In that time, Toledo won 56-31, won 3 MAC West Division co-championships, and appeared in 4 bowl games. Jason is a 2003 graduate of Mount Union and received his undergraduate degree in physical education. He is married to Nicole and has 3 children, daughter Avery and sons Cameron and Colton. Please join me in congratulating Jason Candle. Who gets what? Be careful, it's glass, okay? Jason was unable to attend this evening, but has provided this video acceptance to share with all of you.
I'd like to start out by saying thank you to the M Club for not only this award, an award that I'm certainly humbled to accept, but for all your efforts for decades of commitment to our great university, and to all the student athletes that had great careers at Mount Union, and to continue their name and their legacy, and to honoring them. So many of us benefited from our time at Mount Union, and we're very grateful for all the time and energy spent to honor our past. And I think that's one thing that makes Mount Union so special is its rich traditions, the history, and the M Club is certainly a major part of that. So thank you. To the Barrett family, it's a humbling experience to have your name on an award that is associated with your family, knowing the past and what it has meant to our university, and to all the commitments that Duke and everybody in the family has made to continue excellence at Mount Union. It's an honor that I don't take lightly, and one that each and every recipient of this award from here on out certainly, I'm sure, feels the same as I do. So thank you for your commitments, and thank you for this honor. To all the other athletes that are able to go into the Hall of Fame at this point in time as well, congratulations on all your careers, to your careers and on your careers and all your successes that you guys have had. A very unique opportunity for me to go in at the same time that some of my former players are going in, some of my former teammates are going in, and some of the guys that I was fortunate enough to coach with are going into the Hall of Fame as well. So very unique and very cool experience and an honor to have my name mentioned with all of you guys. A special thank you to my family, to my wife Nicole, to our young family for always supporting me through everything that we go through, and being a wife of a head football coach and going through that process is not an easy one. So appreciate that you staying on a plane and riding through some of the turbulences that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. And I know that Nicole has a great appreciation for Mount Union, and because she hears me talk and brag about all the time about how some of life's really hard lessons were learned right here. Thank you to all the former players and all my former teammates that I was able to be associated with at this great institution. You've taught me so much. I know Pierre Garcon is going into this Hall of Fame as well at this time. I take a lot of credit sometimes for teaching Pierre a lot of football, but Pierre doesn't get enough credit for teaching me how to be a better coach and to be a better man. And at the time where it was all about just football and not life, and what life can do for you after football. I learned a lot from Pierre Garcon and some of the great players that have come through there and taught me a lot. And a final thank you to Coach Kehres and the great coaches that I was able to cross paths with at my time at Mount Union. As a young player, sometimes you take for granted the people around you because you move so fast and you're always on to what the next thing is, and you want always know what is next. And, you know, for me, as a 20-year-old guy arriving at Mount Union, leaving a scholarship behind and transferring there, and, you know, being told by my mother that I was crazy for putting a scholarship on the shelf, and, you know, she was probably questioning if I was ever good enough to play at Mount Union at the time. And, you know, it ended up being the best decision I've ever made in my life, besides obviously, you know, choosing a wife. But so, you know, really just grateful for all the people that crossed paths with me throughout that time. And, you know, special thank you to Coach Kehres for all the lessons that you've instilled in me. There's not a day that goes by in my life that there's not some reflection that takes me back to my days at Mount Union or one of the lessons that you've taught me. And I'm fortunate enough to be in a position in my career where I can send the elevator back down and pass on those lessons to others. And I'm very grateful to be in that opportunity, in a position to do that. And I wouldn't have this opportunity if it wasn't for you and the opportunities that you provided me, and certainly wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for Mount Union. So in closing, just again, say thank you to everybody. Have a great weekend this weekend. Go Raiders and go Rockets.
The Honorary M Club Award represents the highest honor which may be bestowed upon an individual who is not a member of M Club. This award is given to an individual who has given exemplary service and/or support to Mount Union athletics. The individual need not have attended Mount Union. This year's Honorary M Club Award goes to Dean Marini. Dean has been one of the top supporters of Mount Union athletics since the 1980s. He was an integral part of Mount Union being one of the first schools to broadcast their games live and on demand. Dean has been the school's top videographer, including for all 13 national championships for football, and the lead producer for one of the top football broadcasts in the nation. He's had multiple highlight clips receive national coverage, including being showcased on SportsCenter's Top 10 Plays. Additionally, Dean has helped with Meet the Team videos for all 24 Mount Union varsity sports. Dean is currently the general manager for Image Video Teleproductions, WIVM TV, which has been involved with televising Purple Raiders sports since 1985. Dean's footage of Purple Raiders football has been seen on every broadcast and cable sports network in the United States. He directed the broadcast of the 1998 football game versus Otterbein when the Raiders set an all-time college football consecutive win streak record. That broadcast was picked up on ABC Network. Please join me in congratulating Dean Marini. Congratulations.
Thank you to the M Club, to the university. It's been quite a ride. And Jeff and Willie, I'm probably the senior spokesman of this class, so sorry to steal your thunder, but you guys deserve it. I wouldn't be here tonight without Larry Kehres, who I can't say your name without saying coach in front of it. What you've built here is phenomenal. What you've given me an opportunity to be a part of, I can never repay you for. But I will do all that I can. Those words that you have ingrained in that locker room about loyalty and commitment have challenged me to be the best that I can be to support all that you have built. I have to thank Harry Patis, who came up with the idea back in the 80s to start doing television for the Purple Raiders. An innovative thing that no one else, especially at the D3 level, was doing at that time. And it has made this program and contributed to this program and its success in ways that are immeasurable. I've done things for every sport here at the university, but I'm best known for football. There's a sign in a locker room, if you've never been in the football locker room, that says God, family, football, the three priorities of the program. I'd like to thank God for blessing me with the abilities that He has and also giving me the opportunity to share my faith with so many teammates, coaches, and I call them teammates because when I get to bow in the locker room before or after a game with the players and pray with them, that's a special moment for me. Family. I got to thank my family who are here tonight. My nephews and my sister came all the way from Oregon to see this. I told them it's going to be the most uninspiring 3 minutes in sports, but if you want to come, go ahead. I want to thank my mother for instilling the work ethic in me that she did, and I wish my dad was here tonight to see this, but I'm wearing his sport coat in honor of him. And I want to thank the people who have become family to me. VK, I wish you were here tonight because you truly are a brother to me. I can remember being on the field at the 2018 Stag Bowl in Texas, and we looked at one another and just kind of looked at each other and said, no place I'd rather be. I've done some amazing things in my television career and been a witness to some amazing things, but I will say this, the place that I feel home is here. Football. Man, there's been some pretty good football here. As my introduction said, the exploits of our athletes have brought nationwide attention to this university, and I've been proud to be a part of that. When I watched Lou Barry steal that ball out of the quarterback's hands in the John Carroll game all over SportsCenter to seal that victory. Wayne Ruby's catch at the end of the Baldwin Wallace game, and let's not have that tomorrow, okay, guys? But I had another special moment that most of you don't know about. Luke Measham and Kevin Burke were playing for the United States in the International Federation of American Football World Championships. And Luke made this incredible one-handed catch that made SportsCenter's top 10 that night. And speaking of Kevin Burke, I have to thank Kevin Burke, because when Kevin won his 2 Gagliardi trophies, he mentioned me in his speech, so I figure I got to thank him tonight. It's players, formations, plays. We know the formula. If you've been around the program, you know that's the key to the success of the football program. I think about things like names just run through my head like Ballard, Borchert, Kmick, Kostelnik, Chuck Moore, who's here tonight, Brian Groves, who really showed character in 2015 when in a wheelchair he showed up to the game, even though he couldn't play, to be on the sidelines with his boys. And I got to hold his hand during the national anthem, and that's a moment I will never forget. People like Nick Brish, Gabe Brown, Trey Williams, who, along with Luke Meacham, who I was able to mentor as he became a Navy SEAL. Gabe and Trey are also serving America, and my hat's off to them. On this Marine Corps birthday, I'm reminded that the Marine Corps that I served shares a birthday with John Gunnell. And John Gunnell was one of those characters. We had a lot of those guys. Charles Diesel, you couldn't beat him. He was something else. And man, I remember when he blocked that punt in the Stag Bowl and picked it up and took it in for a touchdown. I just remember the press conference was something magical. B.J. Payne, who probably drove LK and Coach Monty crazy with his antics, but it were entertaining for the TV audience, and we played it up big. I want to thank the people in my class, especially the football guys. As I mentioned, VK, there's moments in each one of you life. Sometimes I feel like the old American Express commercial where I know their face, I know their names, but they don't necessarily remember mine. I got a chance a few months ago at the reunion that we had last summer to show Rako Galat's highlights to his kids, and man, that was something special. To say, that's your dad. He was something great. Jason Candle and Jason Lewis. Jason, I just want to say to you that everything that Nate Kmick, Pierre Garcon did, you got a big part of that, brother. Because, man, we were talking today about how much we'd love to have you. You got 1 or 2 more games? You got a couple more games we can squeeze out? Pierre, I helped you get your degree when you came back to finish. We had some good times then, but, man, I can hear Joe Tate's voice every time I think about you. Pierre Garcon! Especially in that Capital playoff game that you came up huge in, brother. Chris Kern, I'm so proud of you for coming back and finishing your degree, for setting an example for so many other athletes to not give up and to come back and do that. Chuck, I still remember one of my most vivid memories of Chris as a player was the time you were running back an opening kickoff for a touchdown in one of our playoff games, and you're running as fast as you can, and there's nobody near you, and all of a sudden here comes Chris Kern jogging by and going, "Hey, Chuck, how's it going?" Pierre, you and Nate Kmick on his 95-yard run in the 2005 Stag Bowl did the exact same thing. And then when you did it for the 49ers a couple years later, I'm going, I've seen that before. I would not be up here tonight without my crew, and I have to thank them. They love Mount Union almost as much as I do. And they'd all be here tonight, but they're off working because that's what we do in sports television. But without the replay guys and the camera guys and the graphics people and the video ops and the wonderful announcers that we got to work with, I would not be here at all. So thank you. This honor belongs as much to them as it does to me. I mentioned Joe Tate. Joe Tate was a hero to me growing up, and the opportunity to work with him and to become a friend of his was a blessing, again, I owe you for. I got a chance to mentor Tony Collins, a young student here, an international student from Mexico who came and worked her way all the way up with a little assistance from me to ESPN. And it was such a monumental moment for me when I went and got an opportunity to see her and remember that she interviewed Pierre on the sidelines, but then got a chance to interview him at Bristol and see 2 of my Mount Union Raiders together. I've been afforded wonderful opportunities to grow close to coaches, Coach Gulling, Woj, Coos, Monty, and a special thanks to Jeff and Daryl. You guys give me access I don't deserve, and you've made me a part of the program. VK did the same thing. Larry, thank you for the wonderful opportunities and the access that you've given me. Mount Union football has allowed me to do some crazy and incredible things. Watch 54 points in a quarter, shovel 20 inches of snow off my car so I can get to the Stag Bowl, freeze in 5-degree temperatures in Oshkosh, all to get magical moments. One of the magical moments was I got to have breakfast with Joe Garnes at a Stag Bowl along with my good friend Lenny Reich. I got a chance to help Tony Lee, an incredible supporter of the university, get to watch football over and over and over again and have the games he could watch over and over. I got a chance to befriend and become friends with Ron Walder, a tremendous supporter of the program. And I thank them for their wonderful support that allowed us to do so much of what we did. I thank the SIDs who worked with me so closely, and especially one. My dear friend Lenny Reich, who I wish was here tonight. And one of the greatest thoughts about all of this is that he got this award last year, and I get to share this with him. I mentioned the fact that I'm a United States Marine. Well, we're the elite. We're the Purple Raiders of the military, I guess you could say. But the best of the Marine Corps carry the name Raider. And with this award tonight, I get to carry that name as well. Thank you.
On behalf of M Club, congratulations to all of our inductees and award recipients. In the lobby of the McPherson Academic and Athletic Complex and the Dom and Karen Capers Football Coaching Center are the M Club Hall of Fame touchscreen kiosks, much like you see at the Pro Football or Baseball Hall of Fames, which showcases all of Mount Union's Hall of Fame recipients and championships. While you're on campus this weekend, I encourage you to make your way to one of them to take a look. Next to the kiosk in the MAC is a plaque inscribed with the following: The M Club Hall of Fame honors and memorializes those individuals or teams who have made outstanding contributions to Mount Union athletics and who have helped to bring recognition, honor, excellence, and distinction to the institution and its intercollegiate athletic programs. Entrance into Hall of Fame requires that the record and character of the athlete be so outstanding that there's no question as to his or her qualifications. This concludes our induction ceremony, but before you leave, I have a few announcements. Tomorrow, the inductees will be recognized during halftime of the football game. The university store will be open tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. if you need to pick up some new Raider gear for the family. M Club is not possible without the generous financial supports of its members. I want to personally thank those here tonight who have contributed and encourage all of you to contribute to M Club athletics through the Mount Union Fund. Donations can be made by personal check or online at giving.mountunion.edu. As we gather tonight to celebrate our M Club inductees and award winners, I would like to share how this week has been quite special for Raiders athletics. This past week, we launched our 4th annual virtual stadium sellout in an effort to raise $60,000 in support of M Club and our athletic programs. We have accomplished our goal, but if you'd like to help us meet and add to that goal, please contribute. Please visit mountgives.mountunion.edu. Our week-long campaign ends tomorrow, Saturday, November 11th at 1:30 p.m. On behalf of M Club and Raider Athletics, thank you to those who have already shown their support and to those who attended tonight's ceremony. And as always, go Raiders.